Welcome to this video guide. In the previous video, we completed the setup and authorization of loop returns for TikTok Shop by Silk. Now, let's see how to use it efficiently for daily return processing. The core value of this integration is automatic synchronization. All return data will automatically flow between Shopify, TikTok Shop, and loop returns, saving you significant manual effort. In this video, you'll see the full process from monitoring status and handling logistics to completing refunds. First, let's review how order synchronization works. Regardless of whether you use Silk Connector or TikTok Shop for Shopify, orders must be correctly synced to Shopify from TikTok Shop. In addition, the return items must exist on both platforms with properly mapped SKUs. Once the order ID and product information match across both systems, returns can be successfully synchronized. This ensures that loop returns can accurately match the same order and correctly process return requests later. So, how are return records created in the loop system? The core principle is simple: return creation is fully automated. For all approved returns, when a return request is created in TikTok Shop, most are approved automatically by TikTok Shop, while some require you to manually approve them in the TikTok Shop Seller Center. Regardless of how it's approved, the integration will immediately and automatically create a corresponding return record in loop returns. No additional action is required from you. Even for returns requiring manual approval, if you don't process them within the approval window, typically 24 to 48 hours, depending on TikTok Shop policy, TikTok Shop will automatically approve them after the window expires, and the return integration will then create the corresponding return in loop returns. For rejected returns, if you choose to directly reject a return request in the TikTok Shop Seller Center, that request will not create any record in loop returns, and no further action is needed from you on loop returns for this case. For refund-only cases, meaning refund requests where the buyer does not need to ship the product back, the system will also create a record in loop. This allows you to maintain a complete record of return and refund requests for auditing and tracking purposes. Please note, for such cases, you cannot perform a reject operation in loop, as no physical product assessment is involved. Its primary role is audit trailing. Once TikTok Shop completes the refund, the status in loop will be automatically updated to refunded. You can find these refund-only returns on the Returns page under the Keep Item tab. These are returns where the buyer keeps the item. No return label is generated, and the record closes when Shopify sends a refund webhook. Now, let's walk through the standard workflow for returns that require the product to be shipped back. This process consists of two main phases: logistics handling and final completion. In the first phase, you'll handle the shipping label. You have two options here. Manual generation: you generate the label and tracking number in loop returns, and once you do, the integration automatically uploads it to TikTok Shop for the buyer. Automatic generation: you can enable this in the loop returns integration settings by turning on the auto create shipping label for TikTok Shop returns. Just make sure two things are set up in loop first: the generate labels option is enabled in your return policy, and your shipping carriers are configured. Once on, labels are created and synced instantly with no action needed from you. Regardless of which method you use, once the label is with the buyer and the product is shipped back, we move to the final phase. After you receive and check the returned item, the return can be finalized in two ways: manually, by clicking Process Return in Loop, or automatically, if you've configured automation rules in your loop return policy, for example, by setting the processing event to On Delivery in the Return Outcome section. This means a return can be processed automatically as soon as the carrier status updates are delivered. Whichever way you trigger it, this action starts a series of synchronizations. Loop marks the return closed, the integration updates Shopify and retrieves the return accepted status, and finally triggers the refund on TikTok Shop, keeping all platforms consistent. Another scenario is if you find an issue with the returned item upon receipt and need to reject the return. You can click Reject Return in Loop Returns. Similarly, this action will be synchronized to TikTok Shop by integration. Please be aware that according to TikTok Shop policy, specific conditions must be met to reject a return. Usually, you must have received the return package, or more than 10 days must have passed since the package was shipped back. Once a return is rejected in loop, the system will update the Shopify order through its normal workflow. The returns integration will then automatically sync this rejected return status to TikTok Shop. Finally, let's see how to monitor your return operations within the loop returns for TikTok Shop. In the sidebar, you'll find four main areas: Overview, Returns, Configuration, and Billing. Under Overview, Home gives you a high-level snapshot, and Monitoring helps you track system health and integration issues. On the Home dashboard, you'll see your key metrics at a glance: returns, the total number of return requests synced from TikTok Shop; loop processed, the most important metric, showing how many returns have been successfully automated through this integration; sync errors, the number of returns that encountered synchronization issues and may require your attention; Open returns, the number of return requests that are still in progress and have not yet been completed. The chart below visualizes return trends over time, helping you monitor return volume and identify patterns in your business. To manage individual returns day to day, go to the returns page. At the top, summary cards give you a quick read on recent activity, the total returns in the last 7 days, how many are still open and awaiting action, your average refund amount, and your average resolution time. Below that, filter tabs help you focus on the records that matter most. All shows every return record. Approved shows returns that have been authorized but may still need logistics or processing. Completed shows returns that have been fully closed. Sync errors shows returns where something went wrong during synchronization. Use this tab to quickly find and troubleshoot problem records instead of scanning the full list. Keep item shows refund-only returns where the buyer does not ship the product back. You can search by TikTok Shop return ID or order ID. Searching by a TikTok Shop order ID will display all return records associated with that order, so you can easily review the complete return history for that order. Currently, each return is displayed as a separate record rather than grouped by order. To dive deeper into any record, click its TikTok Shop return ID. A detail sidebar will open on the right, showing order cross-reference across TikTok Shop, Shopify, and Loop, the buyer's return reason and mapped Loop reason, refund amount, status on each platform, sync status, returned line items with SKU details, and a timeline of key events, making troubleshooting much more efficient. For a broader view of system health, go to the monitoring page under Overview. Integration Health shows the live connection status for each platform, Shopify, TikTok Shop, and Loop returns, so you can immediately see if any authorization needs attention. Open Alert surfaces recurring sync error patterns from your return operations. Each alert shows how many times the issue has occurred and what went wrong, such as a buyer not having shipped items back yet, or a Shopify order not being linked to a TikTok Shop return. You can resolve an alert once you've addressed the underlying issue. Resolved alerts are suppressed for 24 hours. Sync coverage shows your successful sync rate over the last 7 days, so you can spot days or periods where return synchronization dropped below normal. Unmapped return reasons lists TikTok Shop return reasons from the last 30 days that have no matching loop reason configured. Each entry shows how many returns are affected. From here, you can go directly to add the missing mapping in settings, so future returns with the same reason sync correctly. To summarize, the Silk Loop returns integration frees you from tedious manual work through automated data synchronization. You can focus on handling the substantive return process within Loop returns, while the system ensures data consistency across all platforms. Use the returns page and its detail sidebar for day-to-day operations, and use monitoring to stay ahead of sync issues and configuration gaps. That's the complete demonstration of the integration. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have further questions or need additional assistance, please refer to the comprehensive user manual or contact our customer support team. Happy selling!